Okay, so this is going to be a CD collection video. This is likely going to be a part 1, but let's just, because I don't think I could get this in under 15 minutes, but, I'm just gonna get started with my collection. Okay, so first we got, AC/DC's High Voltage, really good album, lots of really good songs, one of my favorites from AC/DC. Probably my favorite song is probably, The Jack. That's a pretty good song. Back in Black's another great album. And, Black Ice is really, To be honest, pretty much anything after 1990 sounds the exact same. I don't care what anyone says, but, like, anything after The Razor's Edge, in my opinion, sounds the exact same. Okay, now here we got Alice in Chains, my Alice in Chains albums. Dirt, really good album. Probably my favorite from Alice in Chains. They're a great band. Self-Titled, another good album. I don't like this as much as Dirt, but it's still a pretty good album. Just let me put this in. There we go. Okay, so now we got Alice in Chains Unplugged. Good Unplugged album. I really like Alice in Chains. They're not the best band in the world, but they're really good. I even liked their newest album, Devil Put the Dinosaurs Here. Black Gives Way to the Blue. I didn't care for that album. And Facelift, I need to get Facelift. Don't have that. Mad Seasons Above. Check this album out. It is amazing. Arcade Fire. Neon Bible. I really like Arcade Fire. They're a great band. And then the two newest albums. Suburbs, which is my favorite. Just a great album. Reflector is another great album. Beastie Boys, License to Ill. This is one of the only few rap hip-hop albums I actually like. And Beastie Boys Anthology, The Sounds of Science. Yeah, I also would like to get, Paul's Boutique and Ill Communication. Those two albums are pretty good. First two Billy Talent albums. 1 and 2. Really good albums. I really like Billy Talent. Beck's Mellow Gold. Beck is my favorite solo artist. He's a great musician. Just lots of great songs. Nightmare Hippie Girl, Loser, Effing With My Head, Pay No Mind. Yeah, Pay No Mind's the best song on the album. Odelay is really good. Kind of overrated, but it's still a great album. Mutations, which is an underrated album. Sea Change, which is my personal favorite. Just an amazing album. Check this album out. If you like folk, or like maybe just a mix, it's kind of like a mix of folk, acoustic rock, I guess you could say. It's a great album. And Beck, he hasn't made a bad album, and that's pretty impressive. And he's been making music since the 80s, but he hasn't really made a bad album yet. I really liked Morning Phase, Modern Guilt, Yellow, The Information, Midnight Vultures. All those albums are great. Next is my favorite Black Sabbath album, Self-Titled. Amazing album. Paranoid is another great album. Master of Reality, it's another good album. It's a good album. Reunion Tour, it's a really good live album. And the thing is, what sucks about my copy is it's used. So, let me get this. It doesn't hold, and I think that sucks. I kind of got scared. I thought there was only one disc when I saw it, but I just have to be pretty careful with this. I don't. It's just kind of the way it is. It's like pretty. I think it's the only CD I have that's like that. 13, which I have the hologram and the one with the bonus tracks, and then show you inside. It's really cool. I really like 13. Great swan song, if it is their swan song. Cheshire Cat by Blink-182 is a good album, really underrated. Blink-182's Dude Ranch, a pretty good album. Enema of the State, which is also a pretty good album. Mark, Tom, and Travis Show, which is a live album, it's great. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, which is my personal favorite Blink-182 album. And their self-titled album, which is great. I still need to get their new album, California. Bush, 16 Stone. Yeah, I kind of like Bush. This was like their only good album, though. Coldplay's Parachutes. Yeah, this is probably my favorite by Coldplay. A Rush of Blood to the Head is also a really good album. Viva La Vida or Death and All His Friends is, yeah, it's either Parachutes or Viva La Vida or Death and All His Friends. That is my favorite. Every Daft Punk studio album, Homework, which is great. Discovery, which is an amazing album. Human After All, which is kind of underrated. And Random Access Memories, which is pretty good. Death from Above, 1979. You're a Woman, I'm a Machine. I really like these guys. I recommend these guys. You should definitely check them out. Defeat. This was a CD my uncle gave me. It's like a local band. It's a pretty good album, but then there's this prank call thing at the end since it's a burnt disc, and it's hilarious. Faith No More, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. Need to get more by these guys. These guys are awesome. I think Faith No More is a great band. Foo Fighters, There's Nothing Left to Lose. Really good album, but I think I like Echo's Patience, Silence, and Grace a bit more. Like, it's just a really good album. Franz Ferdinand, self-titled. I hate it when my CDs fall. Green Day's Dookie. Really good album. Insomniac, which is probably my favorite. And I'll get to it. It's either Insomniac and an album that's coming up. Nimrod, which is pretty good. Yeah, my opinion's changed on it. I gave it a 9, but it's probably more of a 6, to be honest. Then American Idiot, which is also pretty overrated, but pretty good. And like I said, it's either Insomniac or 21st Century Breakdown. That's my favorite Green Day album. Gorillaz Singles Collection, my only Gorillaz album, sadly. Incubus, Crow Left of Murder with a DVD. An Oath of Hura, 12 Labelers. Korn, this is Gold 2000. It's like a greatest hits compilation. Truth be told, I've never heard a Korn album in full, but this is a pretty good compilation. You could recommend me some Korn albums in the comments down below. Like, what are the good ones? I don't really know much. I don't really know what albums are good and which albums suck. Led Zeppelin 1, really great album. Led Zeppelin 1, I reviewed it. Yeah, you can check out my review for that. Led Zeppelin 4, which is better than Led Zeppelin 1. It's an amazing album. And Led Zeppelin, the early years, it's like a compilation. Linkin Park Hybrid Theory. Linkin Park Meteora. Linkin Park Minutes to Midnight. And Linkin Park 1,000 Suns. Okay, now we're at the second shelf. Okay, so here we got Hunting Party, I meant to say, by Linkin Park. It's a great album, probably my third favorite by them. Probably like a 9 out of 10. Yeah, the new single sucked. And I didn't like Living Things either. The definition of overproduced. Mars Volta's Francis the Mute. Amazing album. Check this album out and you'll thank me later. It's an amazing album. Yeah, like, I heard their first album yesterday and the third album, and I heard fourth album today. Yeah, Do Lounge in the Coratorium is a great album. Aperture, I think it's called. It's kind of and, what's the last one, I think it's like pronounced The Bellum and Goth? Something like that. And that album's actually pretty good. Yeah, because I got Apple Music a few days ago, and so I can listen to albums that I've never heard to see if I want to get them on CD, which is good. One of the only pop albums I like, Michael Jackson's Thriller. Really good pop album. Ministry Kenneth? Yeah, I think that's how I pronounce it. Metallica's Ride the Lightning, probably my favorite Metallica album. Load and Hardwired to Self-Destruct, the new album. It's a great album. Well, okay, not great. That was a bit of an overstatement, but it's a pretty solid album. Yeah, but yeah, Saint Anger, Reload, and Lulu, they sucked. I actually liked Death Magnetic. It's actually a pretty good album. It kind of reminds me of Hardwired to Self-Destruct. I think Death Magnetic is kind of underrated. Muse, Black Holes and Revelations. Muse, Harp. Live CD DVD. 9 Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine. 9 Inch Nails, Broken. Great album. Great album. Check this out. Check that album out. Downward Spiral, which is my second favorite 9 Inch Nails album, but my favorite 9 Inch Nails album is the double album, The Fragile. With Teeth, which it's a pretty solid follow-up to The Fragile. Could have been something better, though. Year Zero's decent. Same with Ghosts. The Slip is great. And, Hesitation Marks is decent. I do not know if you can actually even get that new EP, physically yet. But if you can get it physically, I will be getting it. Nirvana's Bleach, really solid debut. Smells Like Teen Spirit single. Nevermind, which I think is kind of overrated. I think In Utero is a better album, personally. Incesticide, like I said earlier, just a few seconds ago. In Utero, which is my favorite. MTV Unplugged in New York. From the Muddy Banks of Wishka, I think that's how you say it. And, no. Self-titled compilation. And Sliver, the best of the box. And after I show my Oasis CDs, I'll be ending the video. This will be end of part 1. Oasis, What's the Story, Morning Glory, great album. Be Here Now by Oasis. The Stand By Me single. Master Plan. Standing on the Shoulder of Giants, Familiar to Millions, and Heathen Chemistry. So that was the end of, this is the end of part 1. Anyway, see you in the next